Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Azzy's making money thanks to the new CBA.
Incredible stuff.
Good
stuff.
Rookie contract. She is projected to make $500,000 this year, and just in comparison, Paige made $78,000 last year, and Caitlin Clark made $76,000.
Anytime we get workers getting paid what they're worth, I'm all for it.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies, take your fandom to the next level by becoming an MVP.
How long have you been an MVP?
Since day one.
Enjoy the great benefits of being a season ticket member. Pre-game MVP moments, including Autograph Alley, exclusive Grizz gear deals, access to member or MVP-only player events, and much more.
He's been an MVP for 22 years!
Become a Grizzlies MVP today.
From the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
Here, my name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there. He's producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope if you're an NBA fan, you stayed up last night for all 3 games of the tripleheader, because the late one was a good one. Wasn't the most points scored in the history of the NBA. Both teams failed to reach 100. But the Rockets got to 99, and that was 6 points, good enough for a victory over the Lakers. LeBron and his teammates fall, so that best-of-7 series that was 3-0 Los Angeles is now 3-2, headed back to Houston. Are we about to watch history? Perhaps. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. The next segment, Michael Wallace is going to join me, senior editor, Grind City Media. I'll talk all things NBA playoffs with him. Michael Wallace going to be here in the next segment. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey has disclosed a new twist to the college football playoff. I'll tell you what it is. We'll do that in about 40 minutes. Former NBA star John Wall has agreed to become the president of basketball operations at Howard. That's a cool story. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. We'll do it in just a bit. It sounds like Saudi Arabia is getting out of the golf business. Rest in peace, LIV. This is almost certainly the final year of that. I'll update you on the story a little later on in the show. Bennett sent me a wild story about, to quote, a JP Morgan executive turning a fellow employee into a sex slave. I'll let him tell us more about that in the third segment. And do you remember that fellow who calls himself David the Singer, who's been charged with first-degree murder in the death of a 14-year-old girl?
I do remember.
Oh, buddy, it's not looking good for him. You ain't gonna believe what prosecutors claim he ordered after this girl was killed. We'll collectively wonder how dumb this dude is during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carry Out, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start in the association, because day 12 of the 2026 NBA playoffs is in the books after 3 more games. Were played last night. 1 in Detroit, 1 in Cleveland, and, of course, 1 out in Los Angeles. The 3 home teams won 2 of the games. The Pistons avoided elimination. The Rockets avoided elimination, and that seems to be the biggest story on this morning. So let's start in the West. Final score, Rockets 99, Lakers 93. So after being down 3-0 in this best-of-7 series, the Rockets are now headed for a Game 6 at home, down 3-2. It's scheduled for Friday night. Big Bet Bennett, good to see you on a Thursday morning. Are we about to watch history? And by history, I mean, are we about to watch the first team in NBA history to come back from down 3-0 in a best-of-7 series and win? Because Houston, the Rockets, they're only 2 more wins away from doing exactly that. They're favored in Game 6. They seem to have momentum.
I don't think they're going to. I mean, KD's already been ruled out for Game 6.
He is out.
Yeah, so, and listen, they won without him, so kudos to them. I think what it really says, in my opinion, is just more about, like, the Lakers are just, this is it for them once they get past this series. Like, they're just, without Luka, they are not going to be able to win the next series against the Oklahoma. Is it the Thunder?
Yeah. It'll be the Thunder. And
yeah, they're just not going to have a chance. That's what I take away from this. I think they're going to be able to close out this series because I don't think the Rockets can beat them. I don't think the Rockets can win the series without Durant. I don't. And
it sounds like they're going to try.
It sounds like they're going to try. The Lakers, like, just they were so bad down the stretch. Like, it looked like they were going to come back and win it. LeBron kind of had like a little burst there in that fourth quarter.
Playing a little bully ball for a minute.
Did you see him shove Reed Shepherd? That was mean.
If I was that big and he was that small, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. Reed Shepherd doesn't seem like the... I don't know, man. I thought it felt a little bullyish.
Well, I mean, he was playing bully ball and being a bully out there. He's a big man.
I don't think it was bully ball. I think it was just being a bully. Poor Reed. Sorry for Reed.
Awesome night for Reed Shepherd, though.
It was a good
particularly
night,
after what happened earlier in the series.
Yeah. And he's been getting clowned on like all season, basically.
Yeah, and then he had a big moment, like a real bounce-back moment. Got the post-game interview with Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Shaq. And so, listen, nobody would argue with you when you say something like the Lakers without Luka are going to be no threat to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round of the Western Conference playoffs if they get there. I don't even understand how anybody could try to form an argument against that statement. What's interesting about this is not what's going to happen next. It's that, sure, we don't think they have a chance to upset Oklahoma City if they get there, but similarly, we didn't think the Rockets had a chance to get back in this series, much less win it,
right?
Particularly with Kevin Durant sidelined by a bone bruise in his ankle. You're playing the Lakers. Sure, their best player's out, but so was yours. You lose Game 1 on the road. You lose Game 2. And then you're in control of Game 3. And then just blow it.
Yeah.
I mean, the win percentage probability thing that you see pop up on a graphic every once in a while, for the Rockets late in Game 3, it was like 99.7 or way up there, right? And then they just, in part because of Reed Shepherd, they just throw up on themselves and blow that. And at that point, you're down 3-0. Your best player's hurt.
Yep.
Like, it's just time to go on vacation.
That's right.
They were literally in studio, the analyst, talking about, well, can Houston bounce back and try to win a Game 4 and, get it back to L.A.? And the former players who are in studio are like, well, they don't want to go back to L.A. Like, just get this done. That was the mindset.
Yep.
But then they come back and they do win Game 4. And then last night, they win a Game 5. And now they're headed back home for a Game 6 tomorrow night, 8:30 on Prime Video, where they are a 3.5-point favorite. So let me put this in perspective for you. Provide the context. What we can agree on is that the Rockets are favored tomorrow night in a Game 6. They're supposed to win that game. And if they do, then what we will watch on Sunday afternoon is presumably, once again, the youngest starting lineup in history to ever win a playoff game, because that's what they did last night, in a position to also make this kind of history, to be the first team ever to come back down 3-0 and won a best-of-7 series. It has happened in Major League Baseball. It has happened in the NHL. It has never happened in the NBA. Teams have come close, gone down 3-0, pushed it to a Game 7, but nobody's ever done it. Teams that go up 3-0 in best-of-7 series in NBA history, do you know the number? The record?
Teams to go up 3-0.
Once teams go up 3-0, they close out the series. What's the record on it?
Oh, God.
Let me help you for a second.
55-0.
Okay, 159-0.
Okay.
159-0. And I apologize. Sometimes I ask you these questions for which you would have no context,
Right.
and it sets you up to just go, oh, and that's not fair. I should stop doing that. 159-0 is the record all time. If an NBA team goes up 3-0, they close out that series without exception in the history of the NBA. 159-0. And yet right now, I don't think it's hard to wrap your head around the idea that the Rockets can be the first team to ever do this, because they clearly are confident now, and they were confident even before what happened last night. Jabari Smith was on record, quote, "We are obviously the better team." This is why they were down 3-1 in the series, I believe. We are obviously the better team. That's what he said. Now, why did he think that? Whatever happened in Game 1, Game 2, they won Game 3. They just lost it on the scoreboard at the end, but they were the better team in Game 3. Then they won Game 4. Now they just won Game 5. You just don't blow the end of Game 3. Just don't give it away. And you're up 3-2 right now, closing out on Friday night. As it is, you're down 3-2, but you have momentum. You think you have the better team. These young guys who probably don't love Kevin Durant that much anyway are emboldened, I would imagine, by trying to do this without him. He's already been ruled out for Game 6. What I think is interesting is, what if he were available? What would you do right now? I mean, I know what they would do. They'd play him. But, I think there would be an argument of, let's just let these young guys.
No, you can't. But I agree.
There would be an argument for it. I don't know that you could actually do it.
Right.
But there would be an argument for it. Let's watch these young guys grow up right in front of our eyes in the absence of Kevin Durant, perhaps because of the absence of Kevin Durant. They look like they have more fun playing basketball when he's not playing with them. That's what it looked like last night. That's what it's looked like for 3 straight games. And if I'm in that locker room now, I'm like, listen, we don't have our best player, but we might be better because of it. They don't have their best player. They're clearly not better because of it. Their second best player is 41 years old. Did you notice how he looked a little tired late last night? All right, this is quick turnaround stuff now. We getting on a plane, and then we playing. And if we got to play another one, we getting on a plane, and then we playing. That's going to take a toll on everybody, but especially anybody over the age of 40. So let's knock this out at home on Friday night, and then let's go to Los Angeles on Sunday. And let's take our collective youth and see if we can eliminate another team whose best player is 41 years old and go down in history as the first team and the only to date to ever do what we're trying to do. Let's make that record 159-1, and the one is the 2026 Houston Rockets. It is not hard for me to wrap my head around that.
I think, too, you also have the weird dynamic of you got the reporting that Luka might not even have a chance to play in the next series.
It sounds like he's not playing against Oklahoma City anyway.
Anyways, you've got, and so typically when if a team goes up 3-0, that's like, oh, we're awesome and we are gonna go compete for a championship this year.
To your point, the teams that usually go up 3-0 are Oklahoma City.
Yes, right. and so, but
it's the Golden State Warriors in their prime.
But if you're the Lakers, you have this inevitability of going to play the Oklahoma City Thunder without Luka, and LeBron, I mean, how much does he really care? Is he going to retire next year? Does he even want to be in LA anymore? That's another, kind of part of this. How much does this series even matter to LeBron, frankly?
You know why I think it would matter? Because he cares so much.
He does.
About every bullet point that can be attached to him.
That's right.
And you don't want this bullet point attached to you.
The history, right.
You are the best player on the first team to ever blow a 3-0 lead in a best-of-7 series in NBA history. That would be attached to him. That'd be the thing Skip Bayless would say every morning forever. You'd look up in 2037 and Skip Bayless would be just randomly on TV talking about. Remember that time LeBron? He's the only one to ever blow a 3-0 lead in best of 7 series in NBA history. So why does LeBron care? Because you don't want that attached to you. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things attached to Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the NBA Finals. Mm. Nobody ever talks about his record in the Eastern Conference Finals and all the times he lost before he got to the NBA Finals. But 6-0 in the NBA Finals, it's a big bullet point that Michael Jordan, that's exhibit A when you're trying to start the GOAT conversation. Well, if you get into these debates, and we always do, you don't want attached to you. What, LeBron? That's your GOAT? The only guy in the history of the NBA who was the face of a team that blew a 3-0 lead in a best of 7 series. That's your GOAT? My GOAT went 6-0 in the NBA Finals. Your GOAT. First guy to ever blow a 3-0 lead in a best of 7 series. You just don't want that attached to you. That's why you care. Isn't that why you care?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still think they're going to win the series.
They are still favored to win the series, but it's minus 260 now. It's only minus 260. Yeah. I mean, that's like a Dodgers game, Right.
Very true.
It's like a Dodgers game. Right. And you know what? Sometimes the Dodgers lose. You watch, all the just vibes, that kind of stuff. Last night, it all seems like it's moving in the Houston direction. And if they get that on Friday night, I don't think it's hard to get back in that locker room and say, all right, now we're tied 3-3. Yeah, we're going back to L.A., but I don't know if you guys remember, we just beat them there last Wednesday. We just beat them there on Wednesday. All right? We have outplayed these dudes 4 games in a row. If you went on Friday, that's what it would be. We outplayed them in Game 3. We outplayed them in Game 4. We outplayed them in Game 5. And if you went on Friday, we outplayed them in Game 6. All we got to do is go to L.A., beat them the same way we did Wednesday night. All we got to do is go to L.A., and this team that we've been better than 4 straight games, be better than them for a 5th straight game when they're relying on a 41-year-old to be Superman. Let's go. That's not hard. That's not hard to wrap your head around. I think the Lakers still get out of this one way or another.
Yeah, I think they're going to win the next game.
But it was just yesterday when I said it just feels like it's not even really a series now because without Kevin Durant, how do you come back down from – I know at this point yesterday it was 3-1, but before that it was 3-0. It just felt like we know eventually the Lakers are going to win one more and advance to Oklahoma City, and then what happens there happens there. And now I don't know is that clear anymore. In fact, I know it's not that clear anymore. It might still go down that way, but it's not clear anymore. In the Eastern Conference, you had 2 games last night. Cavs, Raptors, whatever. I just assume Cleveland's going to get out of that series, but there was a point late, 4th quarter, they're down. And it's like, yo, man, are you really about to lose a Game 5 at home to this Raptors team? To Glow's boyfriend? Is that really what you're about to do?
Raptors have been fun this year. I'm rooting for them. I want them to advance.
I just find
mainly because Darko was here, and I think they're an enjoyable team.
I just can't even get to any point where I care. I don't know what it is.
I think Cleveland making a move for James Harden to try to win an Eastern Conference Finals was come on, man.
To me, that's just
desperation.
That is the series that is happening, but I don't care if my eyeballs are ever on it.
I think the people that schedule these games agree with you.
Yeah. I think the ratings. I think of all the first-round playoff series, that's the one where
that one's the hardest to find for sure.
It's just the one where I'm I'll look at the score every once in a while, but I ain't gonna. If the remote's sitting over there, I ain't gonna get up to go get it.
Fair enough.
I'll just check my phone and see what's going on. And if it's close in the 4th quarter, I'll turn it on, which is what I did last night. But that is the series I find myself least interested in. Magic Pistons is getting good. Detroit wins again last night, 116-109. You had the Cade Cunningham, Paolo Banchero back and forth, 2 former number 1 overall picks. That's great. I mean, and that's not just great for that's great for the NBA. You've got former number 1 picks, faces of franchises, and they're
going back and forth.
Yes.
This is one of those where I think I stand with Vernon, man. I think the Pistons are going to win this series. I do. Because all of these games, honestly, besides last night, all of these games are ugly. They're all 98-88 or so. They're ugly games, and that favors the Pistons, in my opinion. Like if these games are going to be ugly defensive battles, not a lot of shot making every single possession, like I think it benefits the Pistons.
So we are now headed for a game 6 on Friday night, and that's going to be in Orlando. Detroit is still favored in this game in Orlando, -3.5. If we get to a game 7, Detroit will be favored in that game as well. So at most 2 more games in the series, the Pistons will be favored in both of the games, but the Magic are favored still to win the series, -140 in the betting markets right now. You could get Detroit at +120, but there's another one that's gotten, if you're the Magic, you start to feel pretty good about your situation, and now you probably need to close that thing out at home, because if you lose another game and then got to go back to Little Caesars on Sunday, good luck.
Yep.
I'd give the Rockets a much better chance of winning at Lakers on Sunday than I would the Magic winning at Pistons on Sunday.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
they have to close that out in Orlando if they're winning the series, to me. Yeah.
Yeah. The Rockets, if they get to a game 7, I would think they have a decent chance of winning that. If the Magic have to go to Detroit for a game 7, you probably get knocked out
you
there.
don't just walk into Little Caesars.
I don't think you walk into Little Caesars. Not in the year 2026. No. Anyway, fun night.
It was good. Yeah.
Fun night. Triple header in the NBA. More games on tap tonight. Michael Wallace will join me next.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Kevin Durant returned to Minnesota. How awesome was this? Look at this.
That's love right there.
When he walks in, and they brought him out of the tunnel. They're like, welcome back. They played like a tribute video.
That's the reason why guys like TA and them are here, bro.
It's the best.
You want to see the OGs back showing love.
It's the best. That is the best. Nothing has felt more wrong than Kevin Garnett not being a part of that.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and on Thursdays in the second segment, I'm joined by Michael Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. He's on X at my mic check. He's here right now. Michael Wallace is GP. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Good to be on with you again. I love doing this every week.
You're the best. I appreciate you being here. Let's start where I focused most of the opening segment, and that's in the Rockets-Lakers series. LA took a 3-0 lead. No Kevin Durant. Seems like we're done there. Now go get sacrificed to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not so fast, it appears. Houston has now won 2 straight after outplaying them in Game 3. It's a 3-2 series now, headed back to Houston. As you know, as somebody who's been around this league for a long time, no NBA team's ever come back from down 3-0 in a best-of-7 series. The record is 159-0. How much of a shot do the Rockets have to make it 159-1?
Yeah, you know what? I don't give them much of a shot. I think it's insurmountable. I didn't like to see the Lakers playing around with their food, as Mike Tomlin would say. You know what I mean? They messed around in that game and gave the Rockets some hope. You know what I mean? It's already been, I think, reported that Kevin Durant is out for Game 6. So it's almost like, man, what are y'all doing? Like, why keep delaying this? That was the most lackluster performance that I've seen from the Lakers. I was surprised to see that. Now, granted, those guys are down 2 key players as well. They got Austin Reeves back. But, you know, you can't mess around with Houston. I just don't think Houston has the offensive firepower to sustain what they're doing. I'm impressed. The fact that it's 3-2, I actually picked Houston to win last night when we were on Grisby yesterday, but I think this is as far as it goes. I think the Lakers go to Houston and wrap this thing up, but if it gets to a Game 7, then I think the Lakers go back home and wrap it up. I don't think Houston has much of a chance to pull it off all the way.
So Kevin Durant, obviously a big story here. He has the bone bruise in the ankle. Typically, Shams Charania reports that's about a 2-week injury. He's only about a week out of it now, so he's hurt, and that's why he's not playing. But it does seem like these young guys, his teammates that famously he didn't seem like he was much of a fan of mid-season in a very public way, it does seem like they might be growing up in some ways in the absence of KD. And so here's my question for you. They made a big move to bring him there thinking he's going to be the missing piece. It hasn't worked that well. And now they've got the internal locker room problems caused by his Twitter fingers. Is that resolvable, or do they have to do another move just to get him out of the way this offseason?
You know, we discussed this, as I said, on Grisby yesterday to a certain extent, and it was one of those things where, if you gave the Rockets some truth serum, do they fully regret the trade to acquire Kevin Durant? And I said, yes, I think they do regret it. But having said that, when you peel back the layers, Kevin Durant, was like top 5 in the league in minutes played this season, right? He had another tremendous season statistically. Like he provided all the deliverables that he should have been able to provide. I think the roster failed him a little bit, and it's failed Houston because they never addressed that point guard position. Having said all of that, if this guy miraculously comes back and let's just say the Rockets win and tie it up, and then you go back to LA for Game 7 and he's on the court, then yeah, all bets are off. Anything can happen in a 1-game situation with them fighting for to advance in the playoffs. But I do think it's awkward. I do think it's fixable because they've tolerated it all season, and I just think they need more time. Like next season, they'll know, okay, this was the adjustment year with KD. We don't have a lot of time with them, so if we're going to get it right, we're going to get healthy. Let's roll it back and see what we can really do going into a full season next season. With not only Van Vliet, but also Steven Adams going into the season healthy. And now you get to see what these Rockets are really about.
Total hypothetical, but hypotheticals can be fun. Here's my hypothetical for you. You're Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
You win Game 5. You win Game 4. You win Game 5. Now on Friday night, you win Game 6. You've won all these games without Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Your medical staff comes to you on Saturday night and says, we think KD's ready to go. Is it clear you bring him back for a Game 7, or is it at least a conversation? We're riding pretty good right now without him. We've won 3 straight and outplayed him 4 straight without him. Let's go try to win Game 7 without him. Is that something you at least got to talk about?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't care how you talk about it, but it has to be talked about. Yeah. And even if you have to split the difference and say, okay, KD, this is no disrespect to you, but out of respect for what we've done these last 3 games, I'm going to have to bring you off the bench, right? Let that chemistry continue with these starters that have surfaced in these last 3 games, and we'll work you in. And if you feel great, then yes, we keep going with it. But if you don't, then we know, okay, you gave it a shot, you showed up, you could say, hey, I did everything I could, and we regroup and go back to what we were doing. So I think you do have the discussion, and the question is Kevin Durant willing to do it if he's cleared, because he might have that PTSD from when they cleared him, so to speak, to go out there with that Achilles, and then he popped it in the NBA Finals while he was with Golden State. Now, granted, that's the NBA Finals. This is the first round of the playoffs. I don't know if Kevin is willing to risk off-season surgery potentially by playing in one game in the first round of the playoffs, and it costs him next season. So it's a lot to go into to factor in when you think about that.
Circling back to the KD burner account story that has sort of just hovered over that team since it became public. For people who aren't aware, it is sort of accepted as fact at this point that Kevin Durant had an account on Twitter and was trashing his teammates in a way that was uncovered by internet sleuths. He never really has denied that it's him. He just sort of, not talked about it. But it's pretty clear, it's accepted as fact. This is something that happened. You've been in NBA locker rooms. You understand the dynamics, hotels, airports, all that stuff. When you have something like this happen, where it's clear this guy and this guy are no longer on the same page, they don't respect each other, they don't like each other, how awkward and uncomfortable can it get? And or is it possible to just say, hey, we work together. I don't like you. You don't like me. I thought I respected you, but then I found out on Twitter you don't respect me. Either way, we have a job to do. Let's do the job. How do you manage all of that?
It's tough, man, and I've covered teams and been around the league long enough where I've seen these kind of things develop. This dynamic is a little bit different because Kevin Durant came to Houston as a elder statesman, right? So he was already sort of removed from the core of that young team. The Şengün's, the Thompsons, and, all of those guys, the younger guys that we're seeing now, the Jabari Smiths, all of those guys are first, second, third year type players. And so for him to kind of hold himself to a different standard and above everybody else and be sort of judgmental, even if it was undercover judgmental, I don't think he was necessarily like, they're not hanging out with Kevin Durant on the road.
Right.
Not like that wasn't the case when he got there. That wasn't the case since he's been there. And I don't think that's ever going to be the case moving forward. If you're Udoka, you have to say, okay, I recognize we're bringing in a guy who's his own brand, his own entity, and there's going to be a different set of rules and guidelines for him. He's not going to be aligned with these guys. Whereas, flip the script a little bit, going back to, let's just use Miami as an example, during the Big Three era. Like LeBron, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade were all sort of contemporaries, right? So if something like that surfaced when you're among a team with contemporaries, then it gets a little bit harder to navigate. Just like if you go back 20 years ago or 25 maybe years ago, and you remember the Dallas Mavericks when they had Jason Kidd, Jamal Mashburn, and Jim Jackson. Like all of those guys had, they came in sort of together, and then there was the rumors about dating Tony Braxton and all those kind of things. And you remember that if you think about it. Like that destroyed that team because they were all in it together. They were all around the same age. And it was hard for them to move on because they needed to know, hey, I'm going to be around this guy for at least another couple seasons. And we got to work through this. Kevin Durant is an isolated guy. He's a hired assassin. He's one of those guys that he's going to pass through in another year or two, and they're going to continue to move on.
In the Eastern Conference last night, the Pistons 116, Magic 109. So that series is now 3-2, headed back to Orlando. The Magic have a closeout game at home. They are still favored as an 8 seed to win the series. It's like minus 140 in the betting markets, but they are an underdog in Game 6. And if Game 7 happens, they will be an underdog in that one. It looked like they had a good grasp on this. Now it seems to be slipping away. Do you think one way or another the Pistons, as the 1 seed, are going to figure out how to get out of this thing?
Man, it looks like it. And I heard you on the last segment with Bennett, and you guys were talking about comparing what happens in those Game 7 scenarios, and you trust the Pistons to do it more so than you would trust the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
That's the and I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I really thought that this was the Magic series to take, especially with the way that they sort of met Detroit at the physicality game and proved that they can beat them at their own game. But I think at the end of the day, man, Cade Cunningham, as he did last night, is proving to everyone that he's the best player in this series. I think it's not even close. but that he's at a level of efficiency that Banchero just isn't at yet, that Desmond Bane just can't get them to yet. Like, K knew exactly where he wanted to go, what he wanted to do, and the team understood it's your time. What I saw last night in that fourth quarter and the way K put that game away reminded me a lot of what I see when Oklahoma City gets in the fourth quarter and they say, SGA, bring us home. And there's no egos. There's no, hey, I need to get the ball. I need to get this touch. With Orlando, it's like Paolo takes a bad shot, then Bane feels like I'm entitled to take this bad three, and it's like they're still figuring that part of it out, whereas Detroit can close. And if it's like that again, man, Detroit might be able to pull this thing out.
Last thing before I get you out of here, the late game tonight, 8:30 tip, Nuggets at Timberwolves. Minnesota is up 3-2 in this series. Minnesota is at home tonight, but Anthony Edwards is obviously sidelined, and Bennett might end up being right about this. I just sort of looked at it and was like, if you're up 3-1, even without Anthony Edwards, I think you can win one more somewhere and advance to the second round. Now I'm not so sure because I saw what happened in the previous game, and they're a big underdog at home in Game 6. We'll be a big underdog on the road if we get to a Game 7. Are the Timberwolves going to forever have a story about, we were about to get past the Nuggets and go play the Spurs, but then Anthony Edwards got hurt, and, well, that's the way basketball works sometimes.
Yeah, that's the way I see that ending that way. I'm going to be glued in to that game, though, because it's going to be compelling. And I gained a lot of respect for what Minnesota has around Anthony Edwards now. It's not to say that they can't do it. It's just going to take an unbelievable effort for them to channel up what they've been able to do for 48 minutes. If Denver loses this game, it's a referendum on Denver, and I don't know if you can bring that team back and move forward. They would have to make some changes. Jokic is there. Obviously, Jamal Murray is there, but you got to look at everybody else in terms of what that roster is looking like if you're going to go forward. I'm compelled by that game. I'm intrigued by it, and I just hope that it's going to be a fun game to watch, man. And again, it's a credit to Minnesota for doing everything that they needed to do to show some respect in this series for what they have.
Another fun night on tap in the NBA, triple header, 3 Game 6s. Michael Wallace, I appreciate your time. You can follow him on Twitter if you're not doing it already, at @MyMikeCheck. That's at @MyMikeCheck. You're the best, buddy. Thank you. I'll see you real soon.
All right. Take care, man.
Bye-bye. Michael Wallace, Grind City Media. 3 Game 6s tonight, Bennett. Like, Game 6s are awesome. In the history of sports, every sport's got awesome Game 6s. My favorite Game 6 of all time. Do you have a favorite Game 6 of all time?
Do I have a favorite Game 6 of all time? Wait, didn't we close out the Spurs in Game 6 in that 2011 playoff series? Wasn't that a Game 6?
I think that is true.
I believe that was a Game 6 win. So that's probably my favorite Game 6 of all time because that was our first playoff series win. I believe that was a Game 6. I believe we were up 3-2 and won Game 6 behind a 30-point double-double performance from Zach Randolph.
31 point.
There we go.
31 points from Zebo. Final score, Grizz 99, Spurs 91. It was played April 29th, 2011.
Bro, I would give it
15 years ago yesterday.
I would give anything to get that back. Like, that was... Man, I can vividly remember. It's one of the best Grizzlies moments ever. I can remember vividly because everybody's like walking out at the same time and everybody's chanting Zebo in the plaza. Like, it was so good, man. That is like an all-time Grizzlies memory. If you were there, like it was epic.
15 years ago yesterday.
Yeah, man. Shout out Zebo.
6. Zach Randolph. 31 points. Game 6, 86 World Series, Bennett, would be the correct
I figured
answer.
You were going to say that.
Game 6, 86 World Series. That, of course, is the famous a little dribbler up the first base line that goes through the legs of Bill Buckner. Mets come back, win Game 7, World Series champions. And it's been shitty ever since.
Yep.
Lost again last night.
Checks.
Have lost 16 of the past 19 despite having a payroll bigger than anybody else's in the whole wide world.
Well, still got time.
No, we don't.
Not really. Actually, we're running out of time.
It's over.
Yep.
Everything's over. Nothing's good. Nothing is ever goes the way it's supposed to go. Hey, when we come back,
What's going on?
Turn our attention to college football.
Okay.
Greg Sankey, you know him?
I do.
That greedy man who runs the SEC. That greedy man who runs the SEC. He was on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday, and he was talking about a number of things, and he let something out about the college football playoff. A new twist, a new change coming to it next season. I like it. I'll tell you what it is. We'll do that next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Azzy's making money thanks to the new CBA.
Incredible stuff.
Her
Good stuff.
Rookie contract. She is projected to make $500,000 this year, and just in comparison, Paige made $78,000 last year, and Caitlin Clark made $76,000.
Anytime we get workers getting paid what they're worth, I'm all for it.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's Orthosouth at orthosouth.org.
Kevin Durant returned to Minnesota. How awesome was this? Look at this.
That's love right there.
When he walks in, and they brought him out of the tunnel. They're like, welcome back. They played like a tribute video.
That's the reason why guys like TA and them are here, bro.
That's the best.
You want to see the OGs back showing love.
It's the best. That is the best. Nothing has felt more wrong than Kevin Garnett not being a part of that.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Greg Sankey, that greedy man who runs the SEC, he was on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday. Oh, he's probably trying to find another dollar laying around somewhere.
Kicking the mid-majors while they're down.
Probably stabbing a mid-major in the heart, looking for an extra dollar. Hey, mid-major, you got an extra quarter inside your heart? If so, let me rip it out. So he was on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday. And this had never been known publicly, I don't guess, because Ross Dellinger picked up on it and said, hey, here's a new thing we hadn't really heard about. But Greg Sankey just said it. Starting next year, the 1 seed in the college football playoff, whoever that is, gets to pick where they want to play their quarterfinal game. And if they were to advance, their semifinal game. They get to set their path to the national championship game. The 1 seed gets first selection. The 2 seed then gets the next selection. And so the way this could theoretically work, next year, the quarterfinal games are going to be in Miami, in Pasadena, in New Orleans, and in Arlington, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're LSU, you're Lane Kiffin. Let's say you're LSU and you're, I don't know, Alabama. Okay? And you are both headed for the college football playoff clearly. And you're both in position to be the number 1 seed. What some detractors from the expanded college football playoff have long said is that, well, it takes away from the regular season because these games don't mean as much anymore. Well, here's a way to make them mean something more. There is a tangible difference now between being the 1 seed and the 2 seed.
Yep.
You get to pick your path. So if you're LSU,
we want to play in New Orleans.
Yes.
Yeah.
But guess what? If you're Georgia, you probably also want to play in New Orleans.
Right.
If you're Alabama, you probably also want to play in New Orleans. So you're not just trying to win the SEC. You're trying to win the SEC so that you can theoretically be the 1 seed in a college football playoff and have your pick of location where you're going to play your next games. That's a big deal.
It's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because like you said, it does make winning these regular season games even more important. Like you want to go undefeated and be that 1 seed. Yeah.
Think about it if you're the University of Miami. All right. You could end up, depending on whether you're let's just say a 1 seed or a 4 seed. Tell me the regular season doesn't matter? I'm about to tell you how much it matters. If you're the 1 seed, you can say, we'll play our quarterfinal game in Miami, a home game. If you're the 4 seed, somebody else might pick Miami, somebody else might pick New Orleans, somebody else might pick Dallas, and now your quarterfinal game is in Pasadena, California. Mm-hmm. You can either play a home game in the quarterfinals or go to California. That's how you make the regular season mean more.
Yeah.
This is a good move. Every little tinker that they do, I don't think is always a net positive. What they just did with the NCAA tournament, I think is a net negative. But this I like. Credit where credit's due. This is a smart thing that as the regular season is unfolding and we look at projected brackets and we go, well, that team's undefeated and that team's undefeated. And so they're probably going to be the 1 seed and they're probably going to be a 2 seed. And I guess it doesn't really matter which is which. Well, now somebody else is going to jump on screen and say, well, it does actually matter. I mean, if Miami's the 1 seed, they can play a home game in the quarters. But if they slip to a 3, so you ready for this? Mm. Somebody else could take, like it could, you could really like start getting, like really overthinking it. You could be the reason. You could, even if you don't necessarily want to play in Miami, we're taking Miami off the board so they don't get to play a home game in the quarterfinals. That kind of stuff could happen. It puts more meaning into the regular season. It allows the best teams to actually pick a path to the title game. This is an improvement for college football. Tip of the hat to Greg Sankey. I wish he'd have left the NCAA tournament alone.
Number 2.
John Wall has been announced as the new president of basketball operations at Howard, which is, of course, the top-ranked HBCU in the country. School officials confirmed this to ESPN earlier today. He's also, John, a 5-time All-Star with the Wizards, so going back to a city where he spent some important years of his life and giving back in a real and tangible way. I just love this story because just about every John Wall story I hear, I like.
I love John Wall, man.
I love John Wall.
Me too. He is like, I think like if somebody was going to ask me, like if somebody asked me like 10, 20 years from now, who's like one of the most underrated NBA players of all time, I would probably say John Wall.
I got to know him when he was in high school a little bit because he was coming here to play.
I wanted to be a Tiger so bad.
He was going to.
Yeah, I know.
If Billy Gillispie were just a little better at his job.
Damn it, Billy.
John Wall would have been a Memphis Tiger.
Yep.
And so I got to know him a little bit back then. I remember it was his senior year. I guess it was his senior year of high school. Maybe after his junior year. But he was at Nike Hoop Summit out in Oregon. Mm-hmm. It was right after the Final Four, and Nike had been like, we'd really like you to come out, and I had never been, and finally I was just like, okay, I'm coming out. I want to see the Nike campus and do all that stuff. So I did it. I went out there. It was a good trip. Mm. But like John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, that whole class of prospects were out there for the Nike Hoop Summit. And the way we got around, it was just sort of odd. It was like there were like maybe 4 media people there, and then you had all these incredible young basketball prospects. And we would just like get on buses together and ride together. It'd be like, hey, the bus is leaving at 4:30. Make sure you're down in the lobby on time. All right, I'll see you there. And so you just go down to the lobby, you'd sit with John Wall for 10 minutes, get on the bus, you'd sit on the bus with John Wall. You just sort of like, it was like real time you spent with these people for like a whole week or whatever. And then, of course, he goes to Kentucky. He's a star there. They were the best team in the country that year, but got upset in the Elite Eight by, do you remember who was the? It was West Virginia, and the little thing that stands out from that game
was that the Celtics coach. Yeah.
Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah,
Bob Huggins put Joe Mazzulla on DeMarcus Cousins. This tells you everything you need to know about Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah,
everything you subsequently learned about Joe Mazzulla. How he's just intense and weird and he'll fight and what. Bob Huggins knew that. Mm-hmm. He said, you go just bother DeMarcus Cousins. And Joe Mazzulla's job as a little guard was to go bother big DeMarcus Cousins. And Kentucky gets upset. And that was John Calipari's first Kentucky team. That was awesome. Ranked number 1 in the country for parts of that year. And then just got upset in the tournament. But then John's the number 1 pick in the draft. And I would just bump into him at, in Las Vegas at USA Basketball stuff, or he'd be at a random EYBL. I've just sort of kept, not so much in like the past couple of years, but there was a time where I'd sort of I just like him.
Yeah. I think he's great on TV, too.
He is great on TV. Yeah. He's great everywhere.
And I don't even agree with everything he says. Like, he's made points about Ja that I was like, I don't agree with that, but he does a good job of conveying his points. Yeah.
Not all NBA players, and not all former NBA players, and not all former NBA players, even the ones you see on TV, watch basketball, follow it, know it. They used to play, now they're on TV. That's the long and short of it. John Wall knows basketball. John Wall could comfortably jump on a college basketball podcast with me with no notice and intelligently talk about the teams and the players. He knows basketball. He follows it at the grassroots level. He follows it at the collegiate level. He follows it in the NBA. It comes through when you see him talking on TV because he's never stumped. He never looks like he doesn't know what he's talking about. He might not be right about everything, to your point, but his opinions are rooted in, I follow this stuff every day. I read about this stuff. I talk about this stuff. I watch this stuff. And here's just another way in which he's connected to basketball and obviously given back. I don't know what John Wall, how he actually benefits from doing this, but I know how Howard benefits from doing this.
Yeah.
Having somebody who made hundreds of millions of dollars connected to your program, somebody who is a star in the city, in Washington, D.C., somebody who, has made a real impact, and somebody who had a hard life, by the way. That's maybe the thing I love about it the most. He didn't grow up with many advantages, man. I covered his recruitment. He had some sketchy characters trying to get their fingers on him and pushing different agendas in different directions. There's about 1 million different places in John Wall's life where it could have gone off the rails, where it could have gone it grew up this way, had a talent, but man, it can be hard to. There's a bunch of different places where similar lives take wild turns. And I know he's had his ups and downs. He's talked about them, particularly when his mother got sick and passed. But man, you talk about living a productive life, using basketball to create opportunities, and then giving back and looking up all these years later when the ball stopped bouncing, but you still are doing big things, important things. He should be this is the way you can do it. Use the gift to create all these things, and then live a life of production that you can be proud of. And he seems to be doing that. And so when I saw this headline this morning, maybe it was just another excuse for me to gush about John Wall, but I put him very high on the list of all the players I've been fortunate enough to be around. They come through high school, they come through college, and then I watch them go through their NBA career and then settle into whatever life is post-playing. In terms of ones, I say this, I don't mean it to sound weird or whatever, but I'm proud of him. I look at John Wall and I go, man, I am proud of what that guy's become, because I knew when he was a teenager how difficult his life could be in many, many ways. And for him to be doing all this at this age, just really impressive stuff. Great story. Congrats to John Wall. Congrats to Howard.
Number 3.
Sounds like LIV Golf is on a ventilator.
I'm heartbroken.
They're already canceling events. Saudi Arabia has pulled funding. They are right now acting as if they're going to try to find more funding, but you're not going to be able to find it. Nobody's going to put money behind this thing. The only reason Saudi Arabia ever did is for reasons that we've discussed a million times, but even they decided at some point flushing billions of dollars down the toilet with no meaningful return. I mean, they just made no traction anywhere. It's just time to get out of the golf business. And so they're getting out of the golf business. And what's interesting, it's reporting ESPN that some of LIV golfers' agents were on the phone yesterday with the PGA Tour trying to figure out what is our path back. And this is where it's going to get real interesting because the PGA Tour now holds all the cards and they have all the leverage.
I might be petty.
I might be petty. Like, here's what they can do, and here's what I think they will do. Because the tour commissioner is on record saying, we will look at pass back for some players because, you know, we're running a business and we would like to be what we once were, which is the place where the best golfers in the world all compete. That's what we were. This thing came in, tried to mess it up, and they were successful, at least in the sense that they did lure some of our biggest names over there. And so we would like to have some of them back. But what was left unsaid is like, but we don't need them all.
Right. If you're a fringe PGA Tour guy, you are not getting back.
So is there a path back for Bryson DeChambeau? Yes. He's a needle mover.
Yes.
But it won't be as generous as the path back was for Brooks Koepka. Like, they offered a path back to all these dudes earlier in the year. Brooks took it. Bryson didn't. John Rahm didn't. Other guys didn't. Brooks took it. Well, it's already been reported, like, you ain't getting the Koepka deal. Koepka got the Koepka deal because he took it. It's that famous clip, right? Yesterday's price is not today's price is not yesterday's price, whatever the clip is.
You got it.
So you ain't getting the Koepka deal. And some of you ain't even getting a deal at all. Think about our old pal Harold Varner Jr., Harold Varner III.
Could be tough.
Harold Varner on the PGA Tour, played here in Memphis. Me and Vernon played in the Pro-Am with him. You know, he's become somebody we've followed and kept in touch with over the years. He took the LIV money, and it was life-changing money. It was real money.
Right.
I say this as respectfully as I can say it. Why would the PGA Tour care about having Harold Varner back? What does it matter? But most people, even watching me right now, have never heard that name before. So if you're the PGA Tour, yeah, we want Bryson DeChambeau and I guess John Rahm and whatever. But we don't need all of you.
Right.
So if you are one of those guys, what do you do? Like, you're in your prime. You're a legitimately talented professional golfer. The league you've been playing in, the tour you've been playing on is about to be gone. The tour that is the other tour in the world that people care about won't take you back. What do you do?
You better have a good agent.
I hope you have.
Yeah. Because, I mean, some guys are going to, like, some guys you would think that the agents have multiple clients and it's like, okay, we'll figure out a way to work this out.
Yeah. How about this? I'll take it closer to home. Michael Lasasso. You might not know that name. He was a golfer at Ole Miss. Number one college golfer. Signed with LIV in January.
Oof.
It's April.
Yeah. How much did he sign for, though?
It's a big number.
Yeah.
He's got money, and for somebody like this, the PGA Tour is probably like, yeah, we will create a path for one of the most talented 22-year-old golfers in the world. We're going to create a particularly American golfer. We're going to create a path for that person. But, like, you don't think he's sitting here right now
nervous,
like, what did I do?
Yeah, and can't amateur golfers, like, find their way back? Like, I don't really know how the whole process works of getting on the PGA Tour.
Well, here's the thing. Like, the PGA Tour is now, like, they can do what it wants. They can more or less do what it wants to do. and it sounds like they're going to cherry pick who they want. They're like, hey, all you guys who were here and left, man, we told you not to, and we told you what would happen if you did. You did it anyway. Now you have to live with that. Except for you, and you. We'll take you. Come on back. But the rest of you, good luck. Good luck. Playing in little tours in Europe that nobody in this country cares about. But, yeah, it's if you're Roy McIlroy or one of the big stars that, like stood firm against this the whole time, you're feeling good today. Because there was a time where I bet you start to question yourself a little bit. You're like, I'll be the face of the PGA Tour, and I'll turn down all of this money. But then you watch Jon Rahm take it, Phil Mickelson take it, and then you watch them still get to compete in majors, and then you watch Brooks get to come back to the PGA Tour, and I bet you on some level you're like, yo, man, that like, why am I the only one who had a moral code, if that's what you want to call it? I bet they started to question themselves a little bit.
I do too.
But as of today, I bet you have less questions. I bet you feel like I did the right thing all along. I thought I was doing the right thing all along. And man, there was a moment where I felt like maybe I'm not. Maybe I did leave money on the table and that was silly and naive. But now that it's all coming to an end, I feel like I'm glad I stood firm. Even if I questioned it at certain points, I'm glad I stood firm. I was never compromised, and that'll never be a part of my story. It'll be a part of these other guys' stories, but not mine. So good day for the PGA Tour. Rough day for everybody who took LIV money and is trying to get back on the PGA Tour. Unless you're a real needle mover, it's going to be hard for you. And even if you are a real needle mover, there'll be a cost connected to it.
Number 4.
All right, Bennett, take it over.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I send these stories just so I can see what Kyra makes the title of it and 5 more things, which that's JP Morgan executive. That's pretty good.
That's the safest way you can do that.
Good work around there. I don't know why I really sent you this because I don't even know how much I can say.
Say as much as you want.
Okay, I mean, the headline at the Daily Mail is a JP Morgan executive allegedly used her power to sexually harass and abuse a junior male employee, drugging him, subjecting him to racial abuse, and threatening his career. Now, that's not good. But buddy, when you read the transcripts of what was allegedly said,
go ahead.
My God, I don't know what I can read here. I don't really know what I can say. Let's see. Okay. I can't say that. I can't say that.
Let me make sure I got it right. You keep reading, make sure I got it right.
Yeah. Okay.
This woman is an executive at JP Morgan. She has people who work underneath her.
Yes.
Figuratively and literally. She has people who work underneath her, and some of them are men. And she turned at least one of these men into a quote-unquote sex slave. She would spike drinks with Viagra, and she would force him into sexual acts. Like this is rape. I think this is what they call rape, Bennett.
Yeah. So in like the initial encounter, it was alleged that she removed her shirt, began fondling her breast, and then I can't say any of this. She racially insulted the man's wife and said, I bet one of the among other things she said, I bet your wife doesn't have these cannons. Now she said some other stuff that I just can't say at all. You're gonna have to go read it for yourself. She also said that she owned him and that she controlled his promotion and bonuses. Can't say that. She said, I effing own you.
Wow.
I will make you pay. Do you think you're going to be in good standing if you don't have me in your corner? Do you really? Oh, can't say that. If you don't blank my brains out tonight, I'm going to sabotage your promotion.
Wow.
Can't say that. I can't say a lot of this. These okay, here's. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I can add.
She's wild, huh?
She's okay, and then this is still part of the first encounter. This one was really wild. I think I could read most of this. She She forcibly removed his pants. This is all alleged. This is all allegedly. Forcibly removed his pants and performed something. And he continued to protest and began to cry. And she scolded him for crying. She said, "Stop effing crying. You think anyone would ever believe you? You're a blank douchebag who or can I say that? Is that okay? Who thinks he's hot S, but you can't. I can't say that. I can't say that." She accused him of not being able to perform in the moment.
Wow.
But this is
she sounds like,
okay. Here's the thing, dude. Is all the stuff that
doesn't sound very encouraging.
Okay, all the stuff that I couldn't say. Yeah. That's why I like. It seems. I just don't, even if you are like using someone as like your office sex slave, I don't even think you would go that far.
I don't even think Matt Lauer talked like this.
Dude, I don't either. Like, that's why I don't know if I really believe it or not. I think even if she did something really wrong, I cannot believe that she said some of the things that are alleged here, because they are some of the most outrageous things I've ever read in my life.
People say outrageous things.
Like, that was the tame version, what I just gave you. That was like the PG version of events right there.
I don't need my boss talking to me about my wife's cannons, you know?
Yeah, I know. I
mean, when you get right down to the core of it, his buddy had a boss who was just belittling him about his wife's cannons. Mm-hmm. That seems inappropriate.
I just don't know if I'm buying it. By the way, I saw today that JP Morgan has gotten like thousands of job applications today.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't really know. I know that it's one of those things that like sounds, when I see the headline and I read the story, I'm like, oh my God, this is like a perfect Gary Parrish Show story. Yeah. This is great. I'm going to put it right in slot 4 or 5 more things.
You're asking me to joke about rape. That's what you're asking me to do. You're saying, hey, GP, let's laugh about some rape.
Well, when you put it like that, yeah, maybe it wasn't a good idea. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to put this story. I mean, it is a massive story on the internet today. Again, I told you, I think JP Morgan's gotten like thousands of job applications today. But
okay, so this is all right.
It's hard to talk about.
All right, let's be serious.
Okay, let's be serious. I can be serious.
Because I see all the guy comments, right? Mm-hmm. Oh man, make me a, you know, I got that. Except this sounds crazy.
Yeah. It does.
Like every guy on the internet is like, you can make me a sex slave at JP Morgan. I wouldn't mind being a sex slave. But imagine going to work every day and being belittled by your boss in this. Like that would at some point it'd be like, all right, this was exciting for like.
Yeah, you're saying it sounds good, but when you're in it, it's not.
I'd be like, this was exciting the first time. And now I'm just kind of like, why are you yelling at me about my wife's cannons?
These things, yeah. Oh.
At some point, I'd be like, you have got to calm down.
Yeah.
All right.
It seems
parts of this I can get down with, but this is getting crazy.
It seems almost unbelievable. I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out.
I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out.
Did you read the transcript?
Yeah. She wild.
I mean,
I don't know that I would want somebody talking to me like that.
Absolutely not.
I think I'd be like,
I don't care how exciting it is. Yeah. That is uncalled for, ma'am. Yeah. That is outrageous.
Yeah, I think I'd be like, all right, you were cute from over there, but this is getting crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think people think this is their cup of tea, but once you hold in the cup, I bet it ain't as awesome as you think.
I think that's probably true.
Lorna's her name, huh?
Yeah.
She's a wild one.
Allegedly.
She's allegedly a wild one.
I'm not sure how much I'm buying this.
It's a lot of stuff.
I'm really going to be I'll be monitoring this closely.
Keep me up to date.
I absolutely
Maybe
will.
Off the show, keep me up to date?
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to bring it back here.
Probably not.
But I would like to know what's going on.
Okay.
All right,
I got you.
Number 5.
Well, you thought that was something. Wait, I tell you what's going on with David with a 4 in the middle of his name. Remember him?
I do remember him.
This dude put a 4 right in the middle of his name. You would have thought that's going to be the worst thing he ever done. Mm-hmm. Not even close.
That actually kind of worked out for him for a second. I mean, he was getting streams. He was
getting streams.
Yeah.
You would think that throwing a number in the middle of your first name that should feature only letters would be like the worst thing you do. Not even close. Not even close with this guy. He allegedly killed a 14-year-old.
Yep.
This is awful. I'm not even going to show you. But I opened my front trunk to my Tesla the other day.
To see.
And I took a picture. I was going to send it to you. I forgot to send it to you. I was like,
how'd he do that?
How did he do that? That is really what I thought. How did he do that? So he's been accused of murdering a 14-year-old. He was in an obviously inappropriate relationship. He's an adult and she's 14. That's not allowed.
No.
Unless you're like super rich.
That's not allowed.
Unless you're like super rich and
illegal.
Then maybe you can get away with it.
Still illegal.
I side with you. I'm just.
Yeah, I got it.
So, he's now been charged with her murder. He's behind bars. And it ain't looked good for him for a while. Most notably because they found a dismembered 14-year-old girl in the trunk of his car. That's a hard one to explain, you know? Anyway, prosecutors are now alleging that shortly after they believe this 14-year-old girl was murdered, David, with a 4 right in the middle of his name, ordered 2 chainsaws, a body bag, and a shovel.
Well, there you go.
I mean, buddy.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
You can't buy a shovel 2 days after your girlfriend's been murdered. I mean, you should just go rather than buy a shovel, just go turn yourself in at that point, right? Because once you buy the shovel, aren't you turning yourself in?
I think once you buy the body bag, you're turning yourself in.
How do you even do that?
Yeah, at least I can explain a shovel. I can even explain 2 chainsaws, but a body bag, I don't think I can explain that.
Imagine your lawyer sits down with you and is like, bro, you bought a body bag?
Yeah.
You bought a body bag. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do?
I could have worked with the shovel. I could have worked with the chainsaws.
How am I supposed to convince a jury? What are we gonna do now? You bought a body bag.
He's done. He's cooked.
Like, what is the dumbest thing you could do after murdering somebody?
Buy a body bag.
Buy a body bag. It has to be
way
up there.
That is absolutely number one.
I can't wait till we find. He's like probably swiped his debit card. Apple paid.
Yep.
Hey, can I Apple pay this for this body bag? Because eventually they're going to find a dismembered 14-year-old in my car. They'll probably look at me because everybody's going to tell them, well, she was always hanging around with that dude with a 4 in his name. So here's the way it's going to go. She's going to go missing. She's going to be reported missing. People go ask questions. They go say, man, I used to see her with that David dude with a 4. They're going to come looking for me. Whether they find me or not, they're going to find my car. Her body's going to be in my car. Then they're going to start looking at me. And the first thing they're going to find out is that I bought a body bag. What?
I don't know. I think he's not gonna get past. Oh, also, they found like his phone had a bunch of like
child porn.
Yeah,
it's bad.
That's
it's bad.
I think he's cooked.
Sounds like this young man was not raised right.
Yeah, guess not. Something went wrong along the way.
He was not raised right.
Yeah, something happened along the way there because he sounds wild.
If I was this young man's father, it'd be time for him to get a talking to.
Probably too late for that.
Probably too late for that.
Yeah.
I'd sit him down, though, and I'd say, first and foremost, obviously, like, what are you doing killing a 14-year-old?
Or dating one.
What are you, first off, okay, what are you doing dating a 14-year-old?
Yeah, that's question one.
That's question 1. Why were you dating a 14-year-old weirdo? Question 2, why'd you murder? Reasonable question. Question 3, a body bag? You really went and bought a body bag?
You could have just bought a bunch of trash bags. Said you're doing yard work. Yeah, body bag, that's game, set, match.
Could Could have just got some drawstring garbage bags and said you were cleaning out your closet.
Yep.
Hard to use the cleaning out your closet excuse when you purchase body bags, a shovel, and 2 chainsaws. Why do you think you need 2 chainsaws? Wouldn't one get it done?
I mean, yeah, chainsaws cut through trees. Like, why do you need 2?
Why would you need 2? That would be my fourth question.
Interesting.
That'd be my fourth question.
Yeah,
First question, why were you dating a 14-year-old? Second question, why did you murder? Third question, a body bag. And then fourth question, why'd you need 2 chainsaws?
I probably didn't, no.
Probably didn't. That's waste.
Yeah.
That's waste.
What a waste.
That's waste. You see what's happening in the economy, right?
I have.
You got David out there just wasting, buying 2 chainsaws when
yes,
we're pretty
I did get gas yesterday.
That straight, man. That straight's got y'all gas purchasers. I ain't a gas purchaser, so I'm fine.
Oh, well, you're lucky you, because
I'm not a gas purchaser.
It's rough out there right now.
That Strait of Hormuz, man. I ain't sweating it.
Like we're like right at the $4 mark.
I ain't sweating the Strait of Hormuz.
I
ain't worried about it. Y'all see? Hey, y'all started this. Y'all figured it out.
Dude, we're going on a road trip.
I'm just charging my car. I just pull in my garage. I charge my car. Y'all started. Y'all figured this out. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
We're going on a road trip in a few weeks, and it's probably
going to cost you $50,000. You're going to do a $50,000 road trip?
I'm trying to calculate the gas in my head. It's for sure going to cost minimum $300.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably looking at close to a $500 gas expense for this trip.
Well,
to go on a family road trip.
Well,
if that ain't going to radicalize you.
Hey. This is what y'all said y'all wanted.
Maybe I just need a Tesla.
This is what y'all said y'all wanted.
Nah, I just need a Tesla.
This is what y'all said y'all wanted.
I didn't say anything.
Everybody wanted to make America great.
I didn't say a thing.
Here we go. Hey, look around. A chainsaw, man. 2 of them.
That's wild.
I don't even know. I don't know how to make sense of that. I don't know how to make sense of that.
That's wild.
Yep. Be back with carryout.
Azie's making money thanks to the new CBA.
Incredible stuff.
Good
stuff.
Rookie contract. She is projected to make $500,000 this year, and just in comparison, Paige made $78,000 last year, and Caitlin Clark made $76,000.
Anytime we get workers getting paid what they're worth, I'm all for it.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Grizzlies, take your fandom to the next level by becoming an MVP.
How long have you been an MVP?
Since day one.
Enjoy the great benefits of being a season ticket member. Pre-game MVP moments, including Autograph Alley, exclusive Grizz gear deals, access to member or MVP-only player events, and much more.
He's been an MVP for 22 years!
Become a Grizzlies MVP today.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. Space is limited, so visit grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. As I've told you before, both of my little guys have been involved in these before. They have a blast every year. They're doing it again this year. This is terrific. Grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies. That's how you can sign up. Space is limited. Grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies. Let's do carry out.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Interesting college basketball headline this morning. Actually, a couple of them connected to Duke. First, the Blue Devils have secured a commitment from a 16-year-old international prospect who's considered a 5-star. Is going to have to spend 2 years in college because he's so young. He won't be draft eligible for 2 more years. But based on people who understand the international game, this is like adding a top 5 high school player in America.
Okay.
The rich get richer. Also, evidence that Duke has just figured this out, this new place in the sport better than most. Like if you're looking for the staffs and the schools that have figured out how to operate in this NIL, rev share, international heavy prospects, buying pros, bringing them over here. It's like Michigan and Duke at the tip top of the sport.
Yeah.
So Duke is going out and buying somebody who has professional experience overseas and enhancing a roster that is going to have John Shire once again in contention to try to win his first national championship. The other headline, Duke is entering into a multi-year partnership with Amazon that includes broadcasting 3 marquee men's basketball games next season. One will be against UConn in Las Vegas. Then they'll play Michigan at Madison Square Garden. Then they'll play Gonzaga at Little Caesars in Detroit. And all of these games will be on Amazon. And so this is Duke carving out its own little media rights thing. This is Duke saying we are bigger and bolder and capable of pulling off things other people can't pull off. And so let's create these one-off non-league games, partner with Amazon, and just keep filling up that pot of money where more than any other time in the history of college athletics, that's the key to success. Do you have the resources to flourish? Duke obviously does. This is another way to separate from the rest of the sport. Duke adds a incredible prospect, a unique scheduling twist. It doesn't look like that program's going anywhere for a while.
What's today's biggest game?
Going back to the NBA, Big Bet Bennett, we got 3 game 6s tonight. Let's go with the one that is expected to be the most competitive, Knicks at Hawks. 6 o'clock ESPN State Farm Arena. The Knicks are 2.5-point favorites on the road. The total is 213.5. If the Knicks win, the Hawks season is over. If the Hawks win, we will play a Game 7 at MSG. How you going to act?
I think the Knicks are going to get this done tonight.
Win on the road tonight.
Yeah, in fact, I think 2 of these series are getting closed out tonight, and it's not the one you think. The one that I think is going to go 7 is actually Celtics-Sixers, but I still think the Celtics are going to win the series in Game 7. That Sixers team, man, like, dude, it's just when you look at their roster and like the series is 3-2, it's like, they should be unbelievable. Like if everybody's playing and everybody's like at full strength, I mean, obviously Tyrese Maxey's a star. Joel Embiid's playing well. Paul George playing well. BJ Edgecombe's a great rookie. Like you just look at that team and it's like they should be incredible.
Celtics 6.5-point favorite tonight on the road. Nuggets 6.5-point favorite tonight on the road. Knicks 2.5 point. All the road teams favored in Game 6 tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go Knicks here. I think they're going to get this done.
Knicks -2.5. Bennett says lay it. Tip at 6. Watch it on ESPN.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in should I marry a murderer? I'm going to answer that with a no.
I would say no, but do tell.
It's a television show. It's called Should I Marry a Murderer? It's a limited series. It's on Netflix. It is right now considered the #1 show.
Okay.
On Netflix. Here's the description. How did an empty energy drink help catch a killer? This is the stranger than fiction story of a woman who risked everything to expose her fiance's crime. Sounds like maybe her fiance was a murderer. You gain knowledge of this somehow.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what? Think about this for a second. You fall in love.
Yeah.
It's the love of your life. It's your soulmate.
Yeah.
You ask her to marry you. She says yes. She's perfect. No red flags. You ain't never seen nothing. But you find out she murdered and got away with it 7 years prior. What do? What would you do? You are blowing up your own life if you take this anywhere. But if you don't, you might be marrying a murderer. What do? What would you do? That is a hard one, I think. Is it a hard one?
I just think
it's the love of your life. You are reasonably sure you have evidence that proves this person murdered somebody. Let's make it all real. There is a unsolved murder somewhere in the world. You have reached a point where you believe it is more likely than not the person you are in love with and about to marry is responsible for this murder. You are the only one who has this information, but you believe it to be true, and you think you can prove it. What do?
I just think that I'd like to think that I would turn in a murderer no matter what. Murder's bad, dude.
Murder is bad.
We can't allow murder in this world. We have to fight against murder.
I agree with that.
And even if it's the love of my life, I'm sorry, babe.
Could you trick yourself into this? Maybe it's not even a trick. Do you believe this? Oh, we're having some weird conversations. Do you think it's possible to murder but not be a bad person?
I'm trying to think about this.
Murder like a one-off. Just say I murdered one time. I'm not a bad person. It's not a reflection of who I am. Had to do it.
I mean, I'll
never do it again.
I got to get more details than that.
I know, but do you think it's possible? I murdered, but I'm not a bad person, and I never do it again, but I had to murder.
I'm trying to think. Me and my wife have been married for over a decade, and I'm just trying to think what I would do if she came up to me today and said, "Hey, before we got together, I murdered."
Okay, this is perfect. You have 2 sons. You love this woman. Your whole life is built around her.
Yeah.
You're gonna die with her next to you someday.
Yeah. And I know that she's never gonna get caught.
She will never get caught.
The only way she can get caught is by me telling.
What do? I think you keep it to yourself. I
got a pretty good life.
That's what I'm saying.
I got a pretty good life.
I think most people would go, but at the end of the day,
I'm gonna need some details, though. I'm gonna need some details, though.
Your wife says, "Listen, I had an abusive boyfriend."
Well, that's easy to get around.
Okay, my boyfriend was cheating on me, and so I put 2 bullets in him, and nobody ever could figure out it was me.
That's pretty bad. Even that I could justify. Oh, I got a better one.
Okay.
What if it's I know what you did last summer? She hit and run, and the person died, but no one ever found out who did it.
I think that's easier to let's just keep that to ourselves forever.
A hit and run?
I don't know.
A hit and run, and she killed someone that also had a family that was living a great life.
She comes to you. Your wife comes to you and says, "Hey, I've never told you this, but when I was 17, I had a couple of drinks at a party, was driving home, and I hit a person And nobody ever knew, but like, what? Here's the Google. Here's the story.
Yeah.
I did this. Nobody ever knew.
Oh, that would be tough.
What do you do?
That one would be tough.
I think that's one where you actually probably go, we're just going to keep that.
It was an accident.
It was an accident. The only thing that can happen with us coming forward is we screw up everything that we've built. I think an accident, you probably, I don't know. I think you do. I think you take that one to your grave.
I think the one when I would have to change my mind is if it was like, I just wanted to see what it was like, and then I'm like, oh gosh, you're going to do that to me one day? That's when it gets a little sketchy.
Man, what a tough spot.
Yeah, that's a tough spot.
So anyway, it sounds like that's what this is about. This is based on a true story. It sounds like a woman found out and had evidence that her fiance, the man she was about to marry, is a murderer. And let's take it from there. Should I marry a murderer?
I might check this one out.
I might check it out too. It's on Netflix right now, #1 show on the app.
What's the best thing we've read?
So, the New York Times has published a list of the 30 greatest living songwriters. Did you see this list? It's getting a lot of attention.
The 31 greatest songwriters.
It's the 30 greatest living songwriters in the world.
Okay. I did not see the list.
Okay.
I can't even begin to imagine who #1. I would assume Bruce is on the list.
They didn't rank them.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's the 30 best living songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce Springsteen is on the list.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, obviously.
Oh, yeah, Bob's still out there.
On the list.
Yeah.
The big omission that's getting a lot of attention, Paul McCartney, not on the list.
Oh, I think that's a bad omission.
It's a bad omission, unless you're trying to argue it, and this is the way you
it was a collaborative effort?
That, or that you just, because I still think Paul McCartney on his own, you just say it's the year 2026 and we don't think Paul McCartney is one of the best living songwriters in the year 2026. He might have been in 1968, maybe even in 1981, but not in 2026. But if you use that argument, how do you circle back to Bob Dylan? Right. So
Bob Dylan even openly admitted he can't write the songs that he used to write. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just a miss.
It's a miss.
You got to have Paul McCartney. So among the names on it, Bob Dylan, Stevie Wonder, Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, Willie Nelson, Lionel Richie, Paul Simon, Fiona Apple, Bad Bunny, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar. Not a perfect list, interesting list.
Yeah.
So what the New York Times did, I like stuff like this. They asked older, brilliant people in music, to the best of their ability, talk to us about these people.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got just giants of music discussing their appreciation for everything from Fiona Apple to Jay-Z to whatever. So they got George Clinton to write about Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and here's what George Clinton wrote about Kendrick Lamar, which I thought was interesting. George Clinton, he wrote, I'll put it like this. Kendrick, along with Motown, Sly Stone, the Beatles, that kind of institution, that kind of thing lasts. And he's going to last. There are a lot of slick writers out here nowadays with lyrics and things, but Kendrick writes with soul. He's a young kid, but when I met him, he sounded my age. He's like a psychiatrist on record. He talks about shit that most people are afraid to talk about. He's at that point where he can move the conversation wherever he wants to. Nobody will talk about these topics, but he'll talk about them, and he'll talk about them so matter-of-factly that you don't even think for a second, hey man, you can't say that. And then he makes it commercial, which is a totally other thing. It's one thing to be hardcore gangster rapping, so you can say things, but when you're talking about life in general and make it sound so hard and so cool, and then watch the kids say, no, he ain't all that, and then turn around the next year and change all the kids' minds, that's something. Kids today, they always want a new artist, the next artist. They don't want their older brother's favorite artist to be theirs. They don't want their older sister's favorite artist to be theirs. They don't want their mother and the father's favorite artist to be theirs. Kids don't like you as an artist typically after just a few years. But when you go past that and you have the next generation after that still talking about you, that's when you're doing something. And that's what Kendrick Lamar is doing right now. The whole To Pimp a Butterfly album, George Clinton Continues, it was like just one big song to me. It was like Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, and he's starting all over each time he puts an album out. He's like a brand new kid every time he makes something new. End quote. George Clinton on Kendrick Lamar. It's just giants of music writing about the people who are making the music today that is in many ways moving the most needles. People who are respected by those who came before them. And that was George Clinton on Kendrick Lamar, but it's everybody on everybody. You can find it all on camera interviews. It's really good stuff. I know you've been into the Michael Jackson weeds. I've been into this. I've just been watching these late at night and consuming them. Interesting stuff. List is available. You can find it nytimes.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Friday, so we'll look back at all these game sixes. Get ready for tomorrow night's NBA playoff games. Jessica Benson will join me in the first hour. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll try to enjoy mine. We'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.